Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and welcome back to another review. And last month we took a look at a bunch of figures from the LEGO Bionicle line. So now I thought we'd take a look at a figure from Bionicle's successor, the LEGO Hero Factory Stringer, set number 7170. And this set released back in 2010 is based on his appearance from the Hero Factory animated series. So, to get things started, we'll take a look at the packaging. So let's get to it. Alright, here we have the container the figure comes in, and something I think that's kind of neat about this is just like how the Toa packaging from Bionicle was meant to resemble the Toa canisters that they arrived in the story, this is meant to resemble the Hero Pods that in Hero Factory the characters fly around in to get from mission to mission. So I think that's cool. I like that idea came over to, or continued over to Hero Factory. Anyhow, so we'll take a look at it. We got quite a nice picture stringer here on the front. You got LEGO Hero Factory, which is cut off because I lost the lid, but whatever. You got stringer over there, and you got stringer on the side as well. And you got some stats about the set, and then you got from the makers of Bionicle, and then you got the back. You got stringer facing off against one of the villains, actual size of the helmet. Bunch of words and stuff. Side, bottom, non-existent top. That's pretty much it. On to the figure. So here we have Stringer, who, pointless fun fact, was actually my very first Hero Factory figure. And first things first, we're going to take a look at his articulation. So he's got a ball joint at the head, which allows him to look pretty far up and decent amount down. Get some wiggles. You can look all the way around. The shoulder pads do kind of get in the way. The shoulder is also on a ball joint. Get used to ball joints because that's pretty much all that these figures use. Not complaining. Very good joint. The arm can go that far out. Can go all the way around. You can kind of get some bicep rotation out of it because it's a ball joint. The hand is also on a ball joint, so it can move decent amount. You can get some up and down, get some rotations later. The gun arm can also go all the way around. Can't go quite as far out because it bumps into the shoulder, and again you can kind of get a little bit of bicep rotation. And you get the legs, again ball joint, can kick that far forward, can kick good amount back, can go very good amount outwards. Goodness, Stringer is flexible. Can get a little bit of that rotation because it's a ball joint. Foot can go that far down. Can't really go that much up. And can go a little bit side to side, but it really kind of, it bumps into the leg armor. Really kind of hinders the foot articulation, which is unfortunate. Overall, Stringer's articulation is decent. Now the interesting thing is that they decided not to include any knees or elbows on this guy, which is quite odd because Bionicle had been using knees and elbows since like 2004. The Hero Factory started after Bionicle ended, so it's odd decision really, but whatever. Also, all the joints are still nice and tight, which is nice because around this time period of late 2000s, early 2010s, the plastic quality had gone down a lot. So a lot of Bionicle figures are quite fragile from this time period. But thankfully, Stringer's holding together pretty well. I mean, there are some cracks, like you can see on the leg here. He does have a crack right there. But for the most part, his joints are kind of holding up, which is nice. It is quite nice. So, with articulation out of the head, articulation out of the way, we should take a look at the details. So I'm going to raise the camera just a little bit more, and we'll bring Stringer closer to the camera. Focus in there. And I do apologize, the figure is kind of dirty because I play with him a lot, especially outside, and dirt is really hard to get out of Legos, and I have come to realize it's not an easy thing to do, but I got most of it. Because, yeah, he was a lot dirtier than this before this video started. Anywho, so we'll take a look at the face here, or the helmet, which looks really cool. I've always liked Stringer's helmet design. It looks really, really nice. It looks very cool. You can pop it off. You can see his face there, which is, that is his face. This is just a helmet. It's not like Bionicle where the mask kind of is their face. The armor is just armor. Just gonna pop it back on. Yeah, the arm here, which I think is a new piece, or was a new piece at the time. So orange. Got a little piston there. You have the hand, which is reused from the Bionicle Gatorian figures. Also, so is the head. Forgot to mention that earlier. You got the simple little fingers, and you got the thumb there. Simple design. You got the gun arm. You can see his hand there. So, yeah, the gun isn't supposed to be his actual arm. It's just a big old blaster that he's holding. You can see his hand there. You got the barrel, all the little doodads and whatnot. Pretty cool. The only unfortunate thing is that it's completely hollow. Yeah, there's no inside to the gun, which, that's unfortunate. That always kind of bugged me, even as a kid. I'm like, really? It's just hollow. I wish they could have done something different, but oh well. You get the chest here with the nice hero core. Looks quite nice. With chest armor. You got the legs here. With the leg armor. And the legs are the same piece as the arm. Just moved around a bit. And the armor. You got the foot. And I bumped the camera. And you got the back of the figure, which looks decent. So, yeah, detail-wise, Stringer looks pretty cool. I really like his design. That's the reason why I got him, because I thought he looked really cool. Just unfortunate about the gun. Also, another unfortunate thing about the gun is you might be... I can't speak. You might want to be careful. You can see here. There's kind of a big crack right there where the axle would connect, and it made the gun super loose, which is why I glued it into place. So if you're wondering what that weird splotch is there, that's what it is. It's the glue. So I basically just glued the axle into place. Actually, I think my dad did it for me because I was too young to know what I was doing. Yeah, so just glued the axle into place so it wasn't as loose. So yeah, and I believe the axle port cracking and becoming loose is a semi-common problem with this figure, so do be wary of that. But yeah, I think that is it for Jimmy. Which, oh yeah, by the way, the guy's got a first name. His full name is Jimi Stringer. You can even see it on the front of the packaging. It says Jimi Stringer right there, which I assume that's his signature, or what it would be if he was real. Which, that's kind of interesting. I didn't know they had names for a while, because while I was going into it with the same mindset as Bionicle, and there it's not like Steve Tahu, it's just Tahu. So I assumed his name was just Stringer, but no, it's Jimi Stringer, which, not super big fan of that name. He doesn't look like a Jimmy to me, but whatever. Minor nitpicks. At least it looks cool, and that's what's important. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to say, so we shall move on to the size comparisons. Alright, to start with the size comparisons, as always, here it is with a LEGO minifigure. The Packet Destruction minifigure Mothra. The Packet Destruction minifigure Godzilla. On to some more relevant size comparisons. Here it is with the LEGO Bionicle Tahu Mata. You see it's actually just a little bit taller. The Bionicle Onua Mata, who a little shorter actually. And finally, with the previous review, Transformer Studio Series number 13, Megatron. And that is it for that. So now we move on to measuring time. Get the figure from here, get that next to him. Make sure it's all focused in so you can see it properly. And you can see he is almost 6.5 inches. So pretty decent sized figure. Right? Not too small, not too big. And just because I forgot to mention it earlier, because the head is translucent, you can take a light, shine it through, and make it look like his eyes are glowing. That's always nice. I always appreciate good light piping. So that is it for Stringer. And overall, he's pretty cool. I like him. I definitely had a lot of fun playing with him as a kid. He's got some issues, but not enough to completely take away from him. He is pretty cool. And also the neat thing about Hero Factor is, even though it wasn't Bionicle anymore, the pieces still kind of use the same building style, so they're compatible with Bionicles. Even though we weren't getting more Bionicle sets, we were still technically getting more pieces, so you can customize and use pieces from Hero Factory to make new Bionicle customs or whatever. So that's nice. That is quite nice. Although, because they use the Glatorian head, a lot of the older Bionicle masks wouldn't really be as compatible because they connect differently. Bionicle masks usually connect towards the front, but with this head, the connector is at the top. So you only really use it with other Glatorian masks. I mean, I guess you can just flip the head around and use it like that, but whatever. So yeah, for the most part, pretty compatible with Bionicle. That's always a plus. And yeah, just really like the design. The orange and black really mesh well together. Looks quite cool. And if you want to, whoop, nearly knocked Tahu off the shelf there. Or not shelf, but table, whatever. Now, back to what I was saying. If you wanted this figure for yourself, on eBay it's going for around $20 to $25, which is a little much, but not too much, I guess. I don't know. Your money, you pay with it whatever you want. That sentence didn't make any sense, but I don't care. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But before I end the video, I do want to make a quick little channel update, and that is, some of you may have noticed that this video is a slightly higher production than my usual videos. And that's because I found myself a free mobile editing software. So yeah, now I can edit my videos. I mean, nothing too crazy, but I can add things, like I can put in music manually now. Because before, I would just have a laptop off to the side playing music, and that's how I would put music in my videos. Which wasn't always the greatest strategy, because sometimes a commercial would play, and so I would have to panically try and pause the music partway through the video, which happened a few times. And yeah, that was awkward. But now I can put it in manually. Yeah, I can also put in... I can't speak. I can also put images on the screen, like this. Look at that. There's an image on the screen. I don't know what it is yet, but it's there. Alright, no, get out of here. So yeah, I can even do that now. So yeah, this definitely opens up a few more opportunities and can allow my videos to look just a little bit more professional. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I've got to say about this guy. So hope you all enjoyed. See you later. Sayonara. Bye.